While the world is fixated on the wars in Ukraine and the Middle East, something far more dangerous is unfolding right now, on Poland's border. A crisis that could drag NATO into a direct war with Russia. And if that happens, we're not just talking about tanks and soldiers, we're talking about the real risk of nuclear escalation. Poland is NATO's eastern shield, the front line against Russian aggression. But right now, it's being squeezed from both sides, by Russian forces in Kaliningrad and by Belarus, which has effectively become a Russian military outpost. And what's happening here isn't just a standoff, it's a slow-motion preparation for war. Poland is responding with the biggest military buildup in modern European history, doubling its army, buying billions in weapons, and preparing for the worst. Meanwhile, Russia is testing NATO's defenses with hybrid warfare, flooding the border with migrants, launching cyber attacks, and running massive war games that look eerily similar to the prelude of Ukraine's invasion. So, is Russia really planning to attack Poland? And if so, when? More importantly, is NATO ready for what comes next? To understand why Poland is so critical, and why Russia sees it as a prime target, you need to look at the map. First, there's Kaliningrad, a tiny Russian exclave sandwiched between Poland and Lithuania. It might look small, but it's one of the most heavily militarized zones in Europe. Putin has stationed nuclear-capable Iskander missiles here, which can hit Berlin, Warsaw, and the Baltic capitals in minutes. And if war breaks out, Kaliningrad becomes Russia's unsinkable aircraft carrier, a fortress that could cut off the Baltic states from the rest of NATO. But the bigger problem? Belarus. Since 2020, Belarus has effectively merged with Russia under the so-called Union State. Russian troops are permanently stationed there, tactical nukes have been deployed, and Belarusian dictator Lukashenko is now just a puppet for Putin. And right in the middle of all this is the Suwalki Gap, a narrow 60-mile strip of land between Belarus and Kaliningrad. If Russia seizes it, NATO's Baltic members, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, are completely cut off from the rest of Europe. No supplies. No reinforcements. Just stranded. This is why Poland is in panic mode. They are not just defending their own border, they are holding the line for all of NATO. Poland isn't waiting around to see what Russia does next. They are building the largest army in Europe, and they are doing it at breakneck speed. In March 2025, Poland announced plans to expand its military from 200,000 to 500,000 troops, that's bigger than Germany, France, and the UK combined. And they are not just recruiting, they are buying the most advanced weapons in the world. They've ordered 250 M1A2 Abrams tanks from the US, 96 Apache attack helicopters, F-35 stealth fighters HIMARS rocket systems, the same ones devastating Russian forces in Ukraine, Plus, a $13.7 billion deal with South Korea for K2 tanks, K9 howitzers, and FA-50 fighter jets. This isn't just a shopping spree, it's a full-scale war preparation. And Poland is spending more on defense, as a percentage of GDP, than even the US, nearly 5% of their entire economy. Even Trump's Pentagon has called Poland their model NATO ally, because while other countries debate budgets, Poland is arming up like World War III is around the corner. But Russia isn't just preparing for a conventional war. They are already fighting a shadow war against Poland, and it's one of the most insidious strategies we've ever seen. Since 2021, Russia and Belarus have been weaponizing migration. They are flying in thousands of Middle Eastern migrants, herding them to the Polish border, and forcing them to storm the fences. The numbers are staggering, nearly 30,000 attempted crossings in 2024 alone. And at least 87 people have died in the chaos. Poland's response? A $407 million border wall, 6,000 soldiers stationed at the frontier, and orders to use deadly force if necessary. This isn't about refugees, it's about destabilization. Russia wants Poland to waste resources, create political divisions, and weaken NATO's eastern flank before a real war even starts. And then there's the invisible war, cyber attacks. Over 100,000 attacks in 2024 alone. Fake news, hacked railways, even deepfake videos trying to trick Polish officials. The scary part. NATO's Article 5, their "attack on one is an attack on all" clause, doesn't clearly cover these hybrid tactics. Russia is exploiting the gray zone, pushing the limits without triggering a full NATO response. So, is Russia really planning to invade Poland? In September 2025, Russia is running Zapad 2025, a massive war game involving up to 150,000 troops. Officially, it's just an exercise. But the last time they did this, Zapad, 2021, they invaded Ukraine months later. The scenarios they are rehearsing? How to fight NATO. How to cut off the Baltics. How to strike Poland. And with Belarus fully integrated into Russia's war machine, the threat is real. Then there's the nuclear factor. Satellite images show upgraded nuclear storage sites in Kaliningrad. If Russia feels cornered, they could escalate to tactical nukes, and Poland knows it. That's why Poland is now in talks with France to station French nuclear submarines in Polish waters, a direct deterrent against Putin. The world thought the Cold War ended in 1991. But a new Iron Curtain is forming, right on Poland's border. Poland is preparing for the worst. The question is, will the rest of NATO wake up in time? What do you think? Is Russia bluffing, or is this the prelude to WW3? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into global military threats, hit subscribe, we've got a lot more to cover.